Welcome to another episode of Equity Mates. We're happy to be back as always. My name is Bryce, and as always, I'm joined by my equity buddy Ren. How are you going?
I'm very good, Bryce. Great to be back for a Tuesday.
Yeah.
We spoke buy now, pay later yesterday. We're speaking
Big episode.
We're speaking space today.
Yes.
So we're really covering the clickbaity news stories of the week.
The meme stories of the week, Ren. No, well, not meme, but look, this one is all about the new space race that's in town.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about the billionaire space race. It'd be pretty hard to miss what's going on with Richard Branson v. I was going to say Elon Musk because he is involved in space races, but Jeff Bezos.
Yep.
And we're going to have a look at what happened and then also the impact that it has on investors or thinking about investing in space more broadly.
Yeah. We're going to go a step further than a lot of the news stories and actually talk about what's the investment opportunity in space and where are some places you might want to look. But let's start with the story. Let's start with the headlines.
Yes.
Forget the US-Russia space race.
Forgotten it.
Forget the brewing US-China space race.
Forgotten that one.
This is the billionaire space race.
This is the billionaire space race. That's right. We're in the middle of space race, as I said, between Elon Musk with his SpaceX, although I don't think he's actually said he's going to jet up there anytime soon.
Yeah, he wants to die on Mars.
Yeah, but not any. He's not involved in the here and now.
No,
Let's get up
he's,
there. Yeah.
Well, this is jumping the gun, but he's above this.
Yeah. This is child's play.
Yeah.
We have Jeff Bezos with Blue Origin and obviously Richard Branson with his Virgin Galactic, all gunning to be the number one in space.
Well, you say all gunning to be number one, but Elon Musk and SpaceX are clearly number one.
Yeah.
They're gunning for second.
Yes, true.
Virgin Galactic is worth about $7 billion according to the stock market. SpaceX was last valued at over $70 billion. So order of magnitude bigger.
Well, yeah, and Virgin Galactic is doing joyrides in the atmosphere while SpaceX is landing rockets, reusable rockets.
Yeah, sending manned missions into space.
Yeah. So slightly different, I guess, reasons for existence between the two companies. But look, I think we'll get into that a bit later.
We
anyway.
will.
Yeah.
So the big news story last week was that Richard Branson went to space.
Or did he?
So, but before we talk about that, there's something else I want to talk about, which is Richard Branson goes to space last week. You know, there's jubilant pictures of him on the runway and then, floating in space.
Yeah, well, you could watch it live. I don't know if you tuned in.
I didn't. No.
It was a long one.
Yeah, have you watched it?
Well, he was up there. The total flight time, I think, 59 minutes, but the whole video.
Well, you can see
see
some highlights on the screen now.
Yeah.
So you look at this footage, you see Richard Branson, the founder of this company, floating in space. The realization of a company that was founded back in 2004, 17 years work goes to this moment. How would you expect the share price to perform?
Well, I think it was only days before as well that they had got approval for commercial flights and et cetera, et cetera. You'd expect the stock price to go pretty well.
You would. Would it
to the moon, some would say.
Would it surprise you to know that in the week that Branson went to space, Virgin Galactic's share price fell 40%?
That would surprise me.
Well, be surprised because that's what happened.
Wow, 40% drop.
Yeah.
That is surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the reasoning behind that?
Honestly, couldn't tell you.
Wow.
Yeah. In the last couple of months, it went from about a $7 or $8 billion market cap up to 11 and now back down to 7.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And that's surprising because, I mean, they were approved for commercial flights, so you think, okay, great, investors are like, finally, I think, what are they charging, 300 grand a flight or thereabouts?
Yeah, 250 US.
250 US per ticket. Okay, we can now start commercializing everything that we've been working towards. Let's rock and roll. Obviously not, it's not what investors are thinking.
No. So let's take a step back for people who aren't familiar with Virgin Galactic, but do it quickly because most people probably have heard of it. So founded in 2004 by Richard Branson with the aim of commercializing space tourism. Big investment from Abu Dhabi. The country.
Yep.
And they, worked on that. 2019, Social Capital, Chamath, takes Virgin Galactic public with a SPAC, and brings us to today, 17 years in the making, a number of failed starts. I'm going to say that if Elon Musk is the number one celebrity CEO promoter, Richard Branson might be number two. A lot of big claims about, we're going to do this year or do this next year, and things kept getting pushed back.
He's a marketing guru.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're now at the point where they're sending their founder into space.
Well, yeah, 70 years old and is experiencing flight, zero gravity for a few minutes. So that'd be pretty, he said, and this is what I find funny, because I read the book of Bezos, and Bezos has genuinely had this, and has for a long time said that it's been his dream as a kid. His mother's said it, to go to Mars, to experience space. I'm claiming that Branson stole that story from Bezos.
That is a huge call.
Yeah.
Given that a lot of kids say they want to go to space. It's not exactly
it's
an
come
uncommon
too late.
dream.
It's come too close.
Bezos wasn't exactly original there.
No, but look, Bezos hasn't taken to it well.
No.
He hasn't, and because Bezos was really hoping to go to space first, so he's actually claiming that Branson technically didn't make it.
Yeah. Now, we'll throw a tweet up on the screen that Blue Origin posted right before the launch. So you can see here, there was a snarky tweet, and with that came this chart that was comparing Blue Origin and Virgin Galactic. The important one there is the first one, flies above the Kármán line.
Yeah.
Now, there's a contested definition of the boundary of space. Virgin Galactic gets in the 80 kilometers up, and according to the US military or the Federal Aviation Administration in the US, that would be space. But then 100 kilometers up, so not that's higher than Branson got, is the Kármán line. And the Fédération Aéronautique Internationale sees that 100 kilometer Kármán line as the boundary of space. So Bezos is claiming that Branson didn't actually get to space.
It's kind of rookie from Branson if this was a slight oversight.
I don't
They just can't
think
get
they
up there.
forgot to do the last 10 Ks. I think that's as high as they can
Well,
go.
that's what I mean. Yeah, they just can't get any higher.
Yeah, I think as you get higher, there's things about like the Earth's atmosphere doesn't provide lift for planes, and so you need a rocket rather than a plane. Yeah.
So it's pretty phenomenal. Look, 80 Ks above, I think they got to see 3/4 of the entire mass of land mass of the United States. So it's a fair way up.
Yeah.
But look, the good and exciting news, Ren, is Bezos gets his chance today.
Yes.
He's up.
So
not right now, but
he will be
their time.
Tuesday their time. So later tonight our time.
Yeah, he's getting up there. 100 Ks up. And,
106 Ks.
106 Ks.
So above the Kármán line. But here's the interesting thing. Recent research has suggested that space actually begins at 118 kilometers. So maybe Bezos isn't even getting to space.
Jeez. But look, it's pretty funny as well. We were speaking off air that someone had paid a reported 30 million Australian to go with Bezos, and due to calendar clash,
scheduling
scheduling conflict, can't make it anymore.
Now, Bryce believes that there was a scheduling conflict. I call bull on that. I think if you're going to spend $23 million on something, you clear your calendar, or you check your calendar. I think they were worried about the negative publicity of being probably a billionaire or a multi-millionaire who can drop $23 million on a joyride to space.
Look, if you're that wealthy, it's no worse than dropping 50 million on a boat. Like,
I'm going to say
you can afford to do it.
I'm going to say the only person who has a legitimate scheduling conflict would be Joe Biden.
It may have been Joe.
Maybe the CEO of Pfizer
It may have been Joe. But look,
but honestly, you're going to space. Clear your schedule.
Clear your schedule. But I also don't think that so what? They can pay to afford to go to space, 30 million. Like,
or you think they'd just write it off?
Well, I mean, I don't think there would have been too much negative publicity.
No, there would have been.
You reckon?
Yeah.
But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We are here to talk about let's move on to what this actually means for investors, because there's been a couple of short reports come out, and which we can dive into in a second. But investing in space, we can invest. SpaceX is obviously the clear winner at the moment. You mentioned at the start.
Can't invest in it. Privately held.
Yeah.
Blue Origin also privately held. Virgin Galactic is public, and as you mentioned, there is not a lot of love for Virgin Galactic in certain sections of the community. Kerrisdale Capital released a short report a couple of months ago now on Virgin Galactic, and I thought it was the right time to sort of bring it into this content, given that Virgin Galactic is in the news. Kerrisdale was pretty scathing, basically called Virgin Galactic a failed experiment. They failed in trying to commercialize space tourism, been running for 17 years now. And basically they're claiming in this short report that Branson, the founder, Abu Dhabi, the major investor, and Chamath, the SPAC promoter, have all been selling out of their investment whenever they can. Like, they've really just been trying to pull their money out.
Not surprised by Chamath and the SPAC. If you're listening, Chamath, sorry, no offense.
That is your comment. So, yeah, I thought that was an interesting one. Basically, all of their historic revenue projections, all of their claims about like when certain things would be up and running, or when this business would be actually allowing tourists to go to space, have fallen over. So very Elon Musk vibes in that way.
Interesting.
So yeah, if you want to read the short report, head over to our website. You can see it there. Or you can just Google Kerrisdale Capital and read it. But yeah, I thought it was an interesting one that it's not just Jeff Bezos that doesn't have a lot of love for Virgin Galactic.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Well, as soon as you say SPAC around that sort of thing, questions got to be raised, in my opinion. But anyway.
So I think, look, if Virgin Galactic has questions, and obviously this is just one short report, and short reports are notorious for, trying to push a stock down, sell out, and, there's a bunch of stuff that goes on in the short selling space, good and bad. But I think for everyday investors, it's important to realize that the opportunity set for investing in space is a lot bigger than just Virgin Galactic. It's a lot bigger than waiting for SpaceX to IPO. So let's close out this episode by touching on how to think about investing in space and maybe a few of the major categories that are out there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as you said, Ren, $400 billion industry at the moment. Wall Street projecting it to be in the multi-trillions, within the next decade or so. So plenty of opportunity. If you think about what it's dominated by now, you've got, the likes of Boeing, Lockheed Martin. But if you're looking at an industry that's growing at such speed and to such scale, you can start thinking about the picks and shovels.
Yes.
From an investment point of view.
And what do you mean by that?
Hardware stores.
Come on, mate, we're running out of time.
Okay, so you've got SpaceX, Blue Origin, Virgin, Boeing,
No.
But it's who is actually going to be supplying these players in the space industry, because obviously they're going to need to get materials and supplies from businesses, and usually if you look at those businesses, there's leading players in those spaces as well.
Especially in like super niche rocket parts and stuff like that.
High quality carbon fiber and all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
So the picks and shovels, that's always a good way to think about it, because obviously those businesses are going to do well as the businesses that they're supplying do well. But I think the important thing is to forget the projections of multi-trillion-dollar asteroid mining projects and stuff like that. I think we talked about one of those asteroids on an earlier episode. Yeah. Because they're exciting and one day they may happen, but are they going to happen in our 30-year investing time horizon?
Can't rule it out, but unlikely. Yeah.
So picks and shovels, I think, is a great one. And you're looking then not at the aerospace industry, you're looking at a whole bunch of different industries. If you're looking at the aerospace industry, I think there's probably 4 categories to think about in terms of existing investment opportunities today. So the first one is human space flight, which we've talked about. Virgin Galactic is one, but also Boeing and Lockheed Martin are both producing stuff for NASA at the moment. Boeing or Lockheed, one of them have also partnered with Blue Origin. So there's a bunch of human space flight. I would categorize that as sexiest but riskiest in terms of an investment.
Yeah.
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 So the next one is less sexy, but a lot more used, which is satellite communication. Ironically, the company with the biggest market cap in this sector, Amazon.
Not surprised.
They have a satellite project Kulpa, that is trying to spread broadband around the world with low Earth orbit satellites. But then there's a bunch of satellite communication stocks out there. Dish Network is a big one in the US, a bunch of others.
Elon's also playing in that space, and I'm pretty sure if he hasn't already, he is just about to send one of the last satellites up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's won it.
Well, no, you get the satellites into low Earth orbit. Then you got to sell the internet plans.
Well, he's got the infrastructure.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another place where Bezos and Musk will be going head to head. So first category is human space flight. Second one, satellite communication. Third one, this is kind of like other satellites. So there's a bunch of like imagery plays or data analysis, use of like GPS and stuff like that. So there's a number of stocks that are involved in that part of the satellite industry. And then the final one is national defense. And that's where you get into that long list of defense contractors, the Boeings, the Lockheeds, the Raytheons, all of those. So they're probably the four categories that exist today that you can think about. And there's also a bunch of ETFs. ARK has an ETF, State Street do, SPDR is State Street?
Yeah, iShares,
a few others.
Yeah.
So plenty of options to think about space. You don't just have to wait for Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos to take their companies public.
That's right. Plenty to consider. So, look, I'm very much watching this space. No pun intended. But look, that does bring us to the end of this episode. It's exciting times. I mean, we're witnessing some pretty historic stuff at the moment. So plenty to keep an eye on. And, you know, it's one of those industries where you think about what are the big industries that are going to be giving us opportunity, like industry-changing opportunity over the next 20, 30 years. And there's no doubt that there's so much to get stuck into here. So,
yeah. And one final note of, I guess, caution I would say is whenever there's this much excitement, whenever there's this much hype, there may always be overvaluation and the like. So just make sure you're doing your research.
That's
because
it could all come crashing down to earth.
Just like lithium, pot stocks, you know, there's always a hype part of the market. Space might be the hype thing for a while. Yeah. But the question is, what are the really great businesses in that space? Absolutely. Well, hopefully we've been able to add some value to your investing journey. Follow us on all the socials. Head to equitymates.com if you'd like more info. Otherwise, tomorrow we've got Watchlist Wednesday, which we're always excited about. So we'll see you then.